Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, we are a bit late. We are an hour late because of reasons I may or may not explain in the comment section below the underbar. We shall see. Anyway, today is Woden's Day, also known as Odin's Day, also known as Wednesday, Wednesday Day, October 19th, 2022. So let's jump on into the history, shall we? Starting us off in the year 202 BC, Battle of Zama, Hannibal Barca and the Carthaginian army were defeated by Roman legions under Scipio Africanus, ending the Second Punic War. And as I may or may not have explained in the comment section, I've already done a bit of the show and everything. So if you looked actually in the underbar right now, there's a couple links. There's one link already. Honorary degree. So I guess I didn't have a link to that. But I was thinking Africanus, as in like, is that where the name Africa came from? Is that why that continent is named that? And it is not. Actually, where did Africa get its name? Some historians say that the word Africa might have stemmed from the Latin word Afri, used to refer to the Berber tribe Ariga. The Romans called the region Afri Terra, meaning the land of the Afri. The Latin suffix "ica" is used to denote a landmass as well. So, the landmass, the land of the Afri, Africa. So that's where we get Africa from. Anyway, moving on up into 1216, a bit of a time jump there. King John of England died at Newark on Trent and was succeeded by his 9-year-old son, Henry III. And then 1330, actually, no, these are not connected. Huh. Oh, that's Edward III. Okay, wow, I was dumb earlier. So, as I said, I've already gone through a little bit of this in an earlier recording, and on OBS it was on the wrong thing, so it was just all black. So I did try at 10, but that's essentially the reason. Anyway, 1330, 17-year-old English King Edward III captured his mother's lover and the country's de facto ruler, Roger Mortimer, at Nottingham Castle, and later had him hanged. So, dang. So a 17-year-old, put someone to death. That's brutal. 1492, Christopher Columbus sighted Isabella, which is now Fortune Island or Long Cay in the Bahamas. So that's interesting. And moving on up into 1512, Martin Luther became a doctor of theology, doctor in Biblia. So, pardon me. I am sorry. When you gotta sneeze, you gotta sneeze. It's just, it's gonna come. It's gonna, at least it's not, doing that stupid teasing stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Martin Luther, he went through the ringer. Even got excommunicated, I believe. Anyway, moving on up into 1596, Spanish galleon San Felipe was shipwrecked in Urado on the Japanese island of Shikoku en route from Manila to Acapulco. Incident led to the crucifixion of 26 Christians who became known as the 26 Martyrs of Japan. So, they just indiscriminately just murdered, or very discriminately, I guess, murdered a bunch of white people. So, but then again, why are they there? Are they there to convert? Because they are all, they're Spanish. We all know, what the Europeans did. They colonized and everything, and even the recent incident. Well, not recent right now, but the most recent incident. Not even the most recent incident, but the last time somebody was allowed to go to the to that island in the Indian Ocean, Sentinel Island. He was trying to go there to convert people to Christianity, and they killed and ate him. So, stop trying to force your shit on others, Christians. Come on. Anyway, moving on up into 1781, British forces under General Charles Cornwallis signed the terms of surrender to George Washington and Comte de Rochambeau at Yorktown at 2 p.m., ending the U.S. Revolutionary War, which is 5 minutes ago, actually. That would be 2 p.m. on the East Coast. So 5 minutes ago, this happened on this date in 1781. So that's really cool. That's really, really cool. Jumping on up in 1812, Napoleon Bonaparte and his Grand Army began their retreat from Moscow, numbering just 100,000. They had 500,000 at the start of their campaign, so that is an 80% loss. So they're at 20% of their original numbers. That's not good. So but they began their retreat. So that's why. Not even Napoleon could fully conquer Russia. Moving on up into 1845, Richard Wagner's opera Tannhauser premiered in Dresden. Alright. And let's see, what else happened here? We have a meeting of interest in 1882. Pierre Savorgnan de Brazza met Henry Morton Stanley. Alright. And he was a journalist and explorer. So, let's see, who is this guy actually? Let's look him up. Something I haven't done before. Let's see here. Later known as Pierre Paul Francois Camille Savran de Brazza, he was an Italian-born, naturalized French explorer. Alright. I'm going to just add this to the underbar, because why not? So there we go. Anyway. Then 1900 even, South African president of Transvaal, Paul Kruger, departed for Europe. Alright. This guy, as I said before, he looks very much like Abraham Lincoln. Just, a bit more heavy set. Maybe if his hair was a little bit more wavy, he would look like, an exact twin. In 1901, Edward Elgar's Pomp and Circumstance March premiered in Liverpool, England. Okay. 1906, Frederick Winslow Taylor was awarded an honorary degree of Doctor of Science by the University of Pennsylvania. Now, I did look this up earlier, so let's see here. What is an honorary degree? And I have this link in the underbar already, the description. An honorary degree is an academic degree for which a university has waived all of the usual requirements. It is also known by the Latin phrases honoris causa or ad honorem. So, yeah, like without the usual way of getting this degree, you would get it like, be it, just a handout by a friend in that industry, or, proving in unconventional ways that you have the knowledge and the ability for that industry or practice, whatever you're doing. So, many different reasons. Then in 1913, at a meeting of the Natal Indian Congress, NIC in Durban, NIC secretaries MC Angela and Dada Osman severely criticized Mahatma Gandhi and tendered their resignations. All right. Well, I know Gandhi was prejudiced in one way or another, but he really did, stand up for a lot of human rights, and to resign in protest because of him is, I don't know what was going through their minds, but clearly it wasn't intelligent. Anyway, 3 years later, 1916, France extended formal recognition of the provisional government in Crete, proclaimed Eleftheros Venizelos. So that's interesting. And 1923, Ban Johnson persuaded American League owners to prohibit boxing in their parks. All right. That makes sense. You don't want blood and all that stuff. You don't want to clean up all that whatnot on the turf, stuff like that. Let's see here. 3 more years later, 1926, Russian Politburo threw out Leon Trotsky and his followers. Good. They should. Well, I guess that was part of. No, that was before Stalin's purge, I think. When was the purge? When was Stalin's purge? 1936. Okay, so I was right. About 10 years before. But yeah, I think he did do stuff against Leon Trotsky because he was a Marxist. Well, he was also a Leninist. And Stalin was a Stalinist for obvious reasons. 1932, Henry Ford gave his first radio speech. All right, that's pretty cool. Ford Motor Company founder. So. In 1932 as well, Jimmy Fox won American League MVP and Chuck Klein wins National League MVP. All right, two MVPs, two different leagues. In 1935, Mao Zedong's army reached Shanxi. Yep, during their communist revolution and uprising and all that stuff. 4 years later, 1939, Hermann Goring began plunder through Nazi-occupied areas. Yep, yeah, it just awful. I got a ping, so let me check this out here real quick. I got a not necessary ping. Anyway, 1944, John Van Druten's I Remember Mama premiered in New York City. Okay. In 1953, singer Julius La Rosa was fired on TV by Arthur Godfrey. Well, that's not cool. You know, being on the television, getting fired, that's embarrassing. So, in 1957, Montreal Canadian Maurice the Rocket Richard became the first National Hockey Leaguer to score 500 goals. That's cool. That's a lot of goals. All the way back in 1957. When was the NHL founded? Let me look that up here really quick. Let's take it at a time basis on how long that took. When was the NHL founded? November 26, 1917. So 1957. So 40 years. So that seems like a long time. But still. Alright. 365 days later, 1958, String Moss won season-ending Moroccan Grand Prix at Ain Diab, but fellow Brit Mike Hawthorne took World Drivers' Championship from Moss by just 1 point by finishing second, the first British world champion. Nice, good on him. We got a historic event here in 1960. Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested in an Atlanta sit-in. Yeah, how many times was he arrested? Let's see here. How many times was Martin Luther King arrested? He went to jail 29 times. He was arrested for acts of civil disobedience and on trumped-up charges, such as when he was jailed in Montgomery, Alabama in 1956 for driving 30 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So, but hey, don't give them any reason to go after you, man. It's not hard to just drop it down to, five less miles an hour. Stick on that line, give them no reason, and then still fight them, 1966, Bobby Orr made his National Hockey League regular season debut for the Boston Bruins against the Detroit Red Wings. All right, welcome to the NHL. Then we got some more sports history. 1969. This guy, I think he's the guy that somebody was talking about earlier, a couple shows ago. Scottish Matra Ford driver Jackie Stewart finished fourth in season-ending Mexican Grand Prix to win his first F1 World Drivers' Championship by 26 points from Jackie X of Belgium. So, woo, yeah. Then we got a music single in 1973. Ringo Starr released music single Photograph in the United Kingdom. Alright. 1974, Australian tennis star Yvonne Goolagong won her first WTA Tour Championship, defeating Chris Everett 6-3, 6-4 in the final at the Los Angeles Sports Arena. And you got some more history. In 1976, U.S. President Gerald Ford signed first major revision of copyright law since 1909. Dang. So, Go look up various copyright laws. There's always... This smells of Disney, actually. Now that I think about it. Did Disney have... I'm not even going to bother because the question is too long. I'm just going to move on up to 1981. Nicholas Blombergen and Arthur Schawlow won the Nobel Prize for Physics in the laser. That's cool. 1986, Alan Border scored the 1 millionth run in all-test cricket versus India in Bombay. Cool. 1 millionth run. That's a lot of runs. 1987, Woody Woodward resigned as New York Yankee GM. Lou Piniella was named GM, and Billy Martin was named New York Yankee manager for a fifth and final time. Dang. Billy Martin. We had a film premiere in 1990, Dances with Wolves, directed by Kevin Costner and starring Kevin Costner and Mary McDonnell, premiered in Washington, D.C., later to receive the Academy Awards Best Picture in 1991. I've seen that movie. It's interesting. Got a music single here in 99. Cher released Believe, a single, Billboard Song of the Year 1999, Grammy Award Best Dance Recording of 2000. Is that the Do You Believe in Love After Love? I wonder if that was the one. Anyway, 4 years later, in 2003, Mother Teresa of Calcutta was beatified by Pope John Paul II. Damn right. Or, heck yeah, or heavens yes. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, 2005, Saddam Hussein went on trial in Baghdad for crimes against humanity. Yep. Yeah, I remember we found him in a little spider hole. What a coward. In 2015, Canadian federal elections, Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party won a majority with 184 seats. Not good. Not good. The face of evil right there. The real face of evil. We got another election of interest in 2016, third U.S. presidential debate. Donald Trump notably refused to say if he will accept the result of election during debate with Hillary Clinton at Nevada University, Las Vegas. Okay, who cares? And another, the face of evil, the devil. One more year later, in 2017, New Zealand Labour Party formed a coalition government led by Jacinta Ardern, and at the age of 37, the youngest NZ leader in 161 years. Dang. That's pretty cool. Moving on up into 2019, United Kingdom Parliament voted for the United Kingdom Parliament voted for the Letwin Amendment in a special Saturday sitting, which forced Boris Johnson to ask the EU for an extension and delayed vote on his Brexit deal. Haha. So he's backpedaling, I see. 2019 as well, U.S. Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez endorsed Bernie Sanders for president. Another face of evil right there. Or face of ignorant evil. It is just a face of dumb. So... And then, before we move on to the births and deaths, audience, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything that you would like to elaborate on? Anything, any questions you have, any answers you have? Open up a dialogue in the comment section below. As I said earlier in the beginning of the show, I may or may not post why the show's an hour late. But anyway, moving on in the birth, starting us in the year 1276, we have Prince Hisaki, was a Japanese shogun, and died in the year 1328. And moving on up, we have Job Eden, born in 1873. He was a Dutch athlete, World Cycling Championship gold, 10K 1894, Sprint of 1895, the World Speed Skating Championship gold all around in 1893, 95, and 96. Born in Groningen, Netherlands, and he died in 1925. So we have Miguel Angel Asturias, 1899, a Guatemalan novelist, Hombres de Mays, Nobel 67, journalist and poet, born in Guatemala City, dying in 1974. And then in 1900 even, we have Bill Ponsford. He was an Australian cricket batsman, 29 tests at 48 and 22, 7-time 100s. First class 13, 890 runs at 65.18, Victoria. Born in Melbourne, Australia, dying in 1991. I really wish I knew anything about what I just read, but unfortunately I don't. Anyway, let's see here. Who else was born on this date? James Bivell, 1936, a U.S. civil rights activist, Southern Christian Leadership Conference Direct Action, born in Itabena, Mississippi, dying in 2008. Huh. He kind of looks like an old Mr. T. We got Peter Max. He's still alive today. He was born in 1937. He is a U.S. psychedelic artist, Dynamite Chicken, born in Berlin, Germany. Let's see here. What does Dynamite Chicken look like? Here, let's see. Images. No, that's not that. Peter Max. Peter Max. Dynamite Chicken. Okay. Oh. Okay, I see. Well, yeah, that's incredibly not tasteful in today's world. Moving on up, we have Michael Gambon. Born in 1940, he's an Irish-English actor, the singing detective Albus Dumbledore in the Harry Potter film series. Oh. Born in Dublin, Ireland, Albus Dumbledore. Okay, So, wait. Then who played Gandalf? Guys, I don't remember if it was Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. I think it was Harry Potter that the original actor for Dumbledore died, and then they had to replace him with this guy. I may be right. I may be wrong. Audience, if you know more about that situation, please educate me. Um, let's see here. Moving on up. Who else was born on the stage? John Lithgow. In 1945, he is a U.S. Tony and Emmy award-winning stage and screen actor. Third Rock from the Sun, Dick, Harry and Henderson's The World According to Gap, and Shrek. Recording artist, poet, and children's book author, born in Rochester, New York. All right, look at those glasses. Like, he looks like a dweeb. And who else was born on the stage? Evander Holyfield. Ah, this guy. 1962. A U.S. boxer, got the Olympic bronze in 1988 and the world champion in 1990 through 92. Born in Atmore, Alabama. And yes, he is the guy who got his ear bitten off by Mike Tyson. We have John Favreau, born on this date in 1966. He is a U.S. actor, screenwriter, swingers, and director, Elf, Iron Man, and The Mandalorian, born in Queens, New York City. Oh, isn't this, yeah, this is the guy who plays the bodyguard or the head security guy or something for Iron Man, right? I think yeah. Here we go. First film, yeah, Iron Man 2. It's not telling me what his character was. Hold on, this is gonna bug me. He was what was his freaking character? Character name. Yeah, here we go. Happy. Okay. Now now my thirst for knowledge has been satisfied. We got Trey Parker. Why does that name sound so familiar? Trey Parker. Oh, South Park. Okay. Born on this date in 1969. He is a U.S. animator, producer, actor, and composer. South Park and the Book of Mormon, born in Conifer, Colorado. Yep. Matt Stone and Trey Parker. That's why the name was familiar to me. Anyway, Louis Oosthuizen. He is 40 today. He was born in 1982. South African golfer, British Open of 2010. Runner-up in all 4 major events, whatever that is. Born in Mossel Bay, South Africa. All right. Rebecca Ferguson. Born in 1983. She is a Swedish actress. Elizabeth Woodville, The White Queen, Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, and Dune. Born in Stockholm, Sweden. Then we got Lil Durk in 1992. U.S. rapper, the voice of the Heroes, 7220. Born in Chicago, Illinois. And moving on to the death, starting us off in the year 727, we have Saint Frieswide, patron saint of Oxford, England. Birth is unknown. Pardon me. King John died on this date in 1216. This is the same King John from Robin Hood, thing. King of England, 1199 through 1216, and Lord of Ireland from 1177 through 1216, who famously agreed to the Magna Carta, died of dysentery whilst on campaign in the east of England at the age of 49. Okay, so this is the guy who agreed to the Magna Carta under force, which, under force is never right, but it's the Magna Carta. Why was he disagreeing to it? Oh, that's right, because he was wanting to hold on to his power. I think. I may be wrong. Then we got Jonathan Swift here, died on this date in 1745. He was an Irish author and satirist. Gulliver's Travels, A Modest Proposal, died at the age of 77. Oh, so the author of Gulliver's Travels died on this date. That's sad, but yeah. Ernest Rutherford, 1937, a New Zealand physicist and father of nuclear physics, Nobel of 1908, died of intestinal paralysis at the age of 66. That's unfortunate, but thank you for nuclear, information and whatnot. Now now we are become death, destroyer of worlds. Who else died today? Nobody of any significance, it seems. So it looks like that shall conclude the show. Once again, check the underbar in the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of Fast Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time, except for today. which is also a 11 Mountain, 12 Central, or 1 o'clock Eastern. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I was Evander, and until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look at right and left at every intersection. Rate 5 thumbs if you want, and subscribe. Until tomorrow, or until later today, actually, we have our news show here in a couple of hours at 2 Pacific time if you want to see that, or if you're just into history, you'll see us tomorrow. Anyway, toodles!